I was watching this clip a few months ago where Henry Cavill was explaining the choreography of a fight scene in The Witcher on Netflix. And you should probably know that I fell out of my chair because it was so damn good. You see, ever since my father showed me The Matrix as a little girl, I've fallen in love with well done, violent, and even gory action scenes. I love watching fight scenes. I love when I'm on the edge of my seat. A character does something that makes me convulse, make a face, and say, "Damn!" But anyway, I say all this to say that most female action films do not have those things. They don't have clever choreography, unique fighting styles, and gritty action that makes my heart pound like a barbarian. Now, I will say that there are some that are exceptional from my frustrations. The most well-known is Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, which is still one of my overall favorite movies of all time. And I know there are others, and I probably haven't seen them all, but I've seen enough popular and less popular to know that female action is boring. And if you want to comment your favorite female action films, or your furious disagreement with the movies I use as examples in this video, then go right ahead.
This is America.
Do what you want. Just, don't kill anyone. Anyway, I'll start out by saying that I'm not trying to be sexist, even though I'm a woman. I'm also not saying that all male action films are great, because they're not. I'm also not saying that male fight scenes are better because it involves attractive and muscular boys either. I mean, maybe slightly, but let's just move on before my dad gets uncomfortable. The last female action film I went to see was actually Birds of Prey, but before that, it was Charlie's Angels. And boy oh boy, it was not good, folks. Minus the fact that the film was obviously meant for feminist propaganda to be shoved down men's throat until they collapsed over and died, Charlie's Angels action was very bland. There was nothing unique with any of the characters' fighting styles, even though each character has a different backstory. And you can guess why that word is in quotes. But anyway, Kristen Stewart's character is a street-smart archetype, but she fights like the other chick. I'm sorry, I'm too lazy to look up her name. Who is supposed to be a brawler archetype. Now, to compare in the somewhat infamous scene in Mission Impossible Fallout, you have Tom Cruise's character and Henry Cavill's character. And I'll just say the actors' names to make this less confusing. So Tom fights more flexible and adaptable, which we see here. Then Henry fights more rigid and like a brawler here. One uses wit and speed, and the other uses muscle and power against the same opponent. Of course, I can hear you thinking, Liz, are you going to compare women to men this whole video? And my answer is,
Oh, hell no!
Another example of thought-out unique fighting styles is in Black Panther. If you were to compare sisters Nakia and Okoye's fighting styles, Nakia fights like a spy, and that she is adaptable in her surroundings and what she uses as weapons and how she fights her opponents. Ryan Coogler, the director, even pointed that out in a video when discussing the casino scene in the film.
What we want to do is give her a very innovative fighting style. She'll use any weapon, anything that she can get her hands on. She fights dirty, she fights aggressive. She's a spy who had to learn how to make do with what she has.
Okoye, on the other hand, is a warrior, so her methods are more traditional. She always fights with her vibranium spear, and her fighting is more coordinated and sometimes rigid. So it's not like female action isn't capable of connecting a character's fighting to their persona and make them distinct from their allies. The biggest issue I have with female action is that it's not gritty or realistic. And when I say gritty, I mean messy. Messy like bloody, dirty, sweaty, and even draining. Now, there are some exceptions, like Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel, who are literal goddesses or supernatural beings, so the chances of them looking beat up is minimal. However, for the remainder of females in their own action films, I see no sweat, no blood, no fear for their life because they're tired or injured. And because of that, I don't care. There is no reason to be invested because the action isn't grounded. Again, there are exceptions like Kill Bill and Game of Thrones and so on, but it's not the norm. Real fights are messy, and that's what makes them compelling. Most fight scenes are a form of storytelling. There's external and internal conflict, and it should upset the audience. But most female characters fight just to fight, and they're pretty while they do it. Women fight men with chicken arms, and they're fine, barely any cuts or bruises. And I'm not saying that women can't fight men. With MMA nowadays, women have proven to be more than capable of being brawlers. But not all women are brawlers, and that's okay. There are people like Black Widow who fight with agility, not brute strength, because she's not Wonder Woman, and that's okay. But I'm not here to get into that argument as much as conclude my objective observations of female action movies and/or scenes. The last thing I have to say is that female action is not original. Most fight scenes have been seen before, usually in male action movies, and it was done better. Of course, male fight scenes can be just as boring too, but with films like Mission Impossible 4, Through Infinity, and John Wick, and Kill Bill, and certain Marvel films, and Wonder Woman, and even the Birds of Prey / Harley Quinn movie that came out recently, and various others I can't think of suddenly, action films are usually the best when they innovate choreography. Now, I'm not an expert in choreography, but I do know when effort was put into it, and it grabs me by the neck and doesn't let go. Better, more stylized, more unique choreography needs to be put into female action movies, whether in specific methods or abstract character choices in using a weapon or whatever. I don't know, I'm not a director, but female action needs more. It needs creativity. It needs grit. It needs diversity. And it needs to stop being so boring. Because I've cried watching movies, I've gotten hyped watching movies, I've been scared watching movies, but it was only until Charlie's Angels 2019, for the first time, that I've fallen asleep watching a movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and tap that bell to be notified if you haven't already. Let me know what your favorite female action film is in the comments down below. I promise I read all of the comments even if I don't respond. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at LizNotLizzieVid. And I'm still enjoying doing these video essays. So, until the next video, bye!